Welcome to Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast urging you to let it go and don't look back. With nationally acclaimed professional organizer Christine Stone and self-proclaimed hot damn mess radio and TV personality Eden Kendall.
Welcome everybody to Uncluttered and Unfiltered with Christine Stone, professional organizer of Neatly Designed, and I'm Eden Kendall, a broadcaster of many years. Today is an episode that we know a lot of you guys have been waiting for because we've polled you on our Facebook page, and I did something on my personal social media as well. And we want to talk about going gray intentionally. Ladies wearing their glorious silver or white or salt and pepper locks and owning it, loving it. Now, you have stated in the past, Miss Christine, and let's just be clear. Your hair is glorious. I always use the word glorious because you just have this crown of hair. You've said you've been genetically blessed, but you've taken excellent care of it.
Yes.
For years and years. You're proud of it, and you should be.
Well, I really do take a lot of pride in keeping my hair healthy, shiny. You know, like that's when you have thick, long hair, you have to, or it starts to look really, especially when you, hello ladies, color it.
So I'm the opposite end of the spectrum, and I'm not fishing for compliments. I have problem hair. Even my hairstylists over the years have said it's just a crazy consistency that frizzes up, and it's just it's my least favorite feature. Let's just say that. I mean, I'm allowed to say that my hair is my least. Are you saying really because you see other things that should be my least favorite?
No, I think your hair is beautiful. I really do. I love it.
You're kind. I've tried a lot of different things, from a pixie cut to letting it go curly to I'm on day number 7 of a blowout right now. We're just
a woman after my own heart.
Right. So we've talked about all the things, the not washing it, the this and that. But we're talking specifically about color today. And the other day I asked you just off the cuff if you would consider just going gray, just letting it go. And you immediately said, nope, not me. I wouldn't do that. So where are you on that? Still, you say no way?
Well, my mom is 84 and still colors her hair. And my family all started going gray in their 30s. So my mom, my dad, me. I mean, my brothers are pitch white now. I mean, I just think it depends on the type of gray, how much gray. Like some people get a little bit of gray and that's about it. I mean, I look like a skunk when the color is growing out. And last week I said to you, before I went on an airplane to travel, I said, I would never in a million years, I will never go gray. It's just a personal preference choice. I think it should always be a personal choice. I think women should make choices about anything they do, hair, skin, nails, whatever. But then I got on the airplane. You know, when you get on the airplane and your mind starts to wander, and I'm like, would I go gray? Maybe I would. And then I thought, but why wouldn't I? And it's because I don't know if I'd want to cut all my hair off and do like a, cute close to the head and then go gray. I don't know. I started to go, God, I would have a lot more time on my hands. I wouldn't be putting chemicals on my hair anymore. Now she has me thinking. But I do think it at my age right now, just turning 60, it's something that I wouldn't do anytime in the near future for me. But I see many beautiful women on social media that have long gray hair, short little cute gray haircuts. I mean, honestly, I think this is such a preference. One thing, though, I think it's hard for women as the gray is growing out.
That's tough.
So I think trying to maybe go and getting it blended in so that it's like because it's tough when I see many women posting on social media their different phases of letting it go gray. And I think that's the part I would have the hardest time with.
The growing out phase is tough with just about any kind of style or color. Now, for me, I was part of an event for children last year where everybody had to wear a costume, whether it be a superhero or a princess or the adults. And they assigned me a Frozen costume, and it was the Elsa Let It Go Frozen costume, but I didn't want to look like 55 at the time, 55-year-old in the face Frozen. So I decided I'm going to be a snow queen. So I got silver spray for my hair, and I was growing out of pixie, so I made it all stick up. So it was very punk rock looking, and people reacted to me in a really funny way.
Like how?
Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even, oh, your hair's gray. And I'm like, it's silver, it's snow. But I mean, it just really was an interesting thing. But I have to say that I thought it looked really good. Short.
Yeah.
But I've been growing my hair out now, so I don't know. But at the time I thought, I kind of like this look for me. But then I also am a DJ, for those who are not local to where we are, on a country radio station, which is really like an ageless, timeless kind of role to play. You don't want to necessarily clue in all of your listeners to the fact that you could be their mom or their grandma. You just kind of want to be like any age they are type deal. So I was like, well, that's kind of a big step. And before that, when I was on TV, even though probably in theory they would have greenlit anything because people are less likely to try to control that kind of thing anymore, I still think it would have been frowned upon to go gray.
Oh, I think so. And
yeah.
And I don't know about you, but just seeing some of like Christy Brinkley, that's what brought a lot of attention. She did an Instagram post, and it was my roots. She showed all her roots going out, the gray, and she kind of asked for opinions, but said she'll make up her own mind, which I liked that. And of course, everyone said, oh my God, no, don't do it. Most of them. And then she went back on and said, I've decided right now I'm going to stay coloring my hair, but I'm not counting it out in the future. And I think that's what really kind of stirred the question. It's like, you're Christy Brinkley.
Yeah.
You have the most gorgeous blonde hair. Maybe, yes, it's fake. I mean, it's colored, not fake, but it's colored.
Could even be extensions.
Yeah, she does sell an extension line, by the way. So it could be a few extensions in there. But I mean, you think to yourself, only because I'm 60, she's Christy Brinkley. Why would she go gray? It's also where you were growing up and who Christy Brinkley was when you were growing up, which is a gorgeous supermodel. Mm-hmm. So I think that started because everywhere I turned, it was Christy Brinkley's going gray. It was like a big deal. So I think that's what stirred up this whole thing. I'm like, would I go gray?
But what about the younger folks with the gray hair? My friend's wife, not even 30, went completely gray. She had this long silvery gray hair there for a while, and it was shocking to me that somebody would intentionally go from a dark color to gray.
I think that whole trend, thank God I'm seeing it go away, of like people in their 20s and early 30s coloring their hair gray. I'm sorry, I thought that was the most insane thing ever. Who would want to, in your 20s and early 30s, want to color your hair gray? I
was secretly hoping it would catch on to the point where I could just squeeze in on that one and be like, no, this isn't my real gray. Well, I'm just very hip. I'm very, very in fashion.
Well, I just feel like they should take pictures, and then when they are in their 30s, like late 30s, 40s, and 50s, look back and go, oh, look
at me.
I intentionally colored my hair gray in my 20s.
Was it during COVID when Christy Brinkley did the
No, this was just a month ago.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Because during COVID, a lot of people really leaned into the letting their hair grow out, or at least giving their hair a rest from being colored.
Not me. I said when COVID hit and we were in lockdown, I said to my husband, is this a joke? This is like my worst nightmare come true, because it was that my color week when we went into lockdown. So I desperately needed color. So what did I do? I got some color from like online, and I told my older daughter, you're going to come up here and color my hair. She goes, what? I go, you're going to do it. You can do it. I'll show you what to do.
Good for
Half
her.
my head was colored. The other half was still gray. But it was I thought, this is God's way of playing a cruel joke on so many women in the world. I mean, I didn't care about anything else, but I'm like, if we're in this lockdown for like 3 months, I'm going to be white gray to like my earlobes.
And the joke's on you.
And the joke's on me.
Than that. It was much longer than that.
Right.
We asked you guys on our ladies only Uncluttered and Unfiltered page, which, by the way, everybody is welcome to join. Just search in your Facebook, Uncluttered and Unfiltered Ladies Only. We asked you which one best describes you. The choices were my hair is gray and I keep it that way. My hair is gray, but that's my little secret. My hair is gray and I've been considering going natural, and then no gray yet. So the percentages were, it looks like mostly it was my hair is gray, but that's my little secret.
I love you, ladies.
Second, but by far much, much less, was my hair is gray and I keep it that way. And then I've been considering going natural was in there as well. But then over on my personal social media, I asked because I wanted to reach to some guys as well. I wanted to get opinions from men and women.
Right.
And a lot of you guys are saying, I'm a chicken. I want to do it, but I'm scared to. Well, then Ginger mentioned, and I love this because it's so true. We hadn't even talked about this yet. She said, I'm really hopeful that my hair is as pretty silver as my grandmother's was when I do get the courage to go there. Because that's the other thing. Not all gray hair
That
is
would
the
be
same.
me. That would be me. Because my hair is coarse and curly. So when my gray comes in, it's not pretty.
Lynn said, I haven't colored my hair for probably a decade. I always colored it blonde, and one day I noticed I was no longer getting mousy blonde roots. So I decided to quit coloring it, and I love my natural platinum color. And she posted a picture, and it is beautiful. It looks like a very light blonde. And that's another thing for me that I've noticed is that as I've gone darker, of course, the gray roots are much more noticeable than when I used to go very blonde. You can't really notice it as much if you're blonde. So you and I are brunette.
Right.
And that makes it more skunk-like, as you called it.
Right.
Sandy said she has started letting her hair grow out, and she has streaks of gray, which I think is a very cool look.
I think there are so many beautiful women who have let their hair go gray. I definitely think you take into consideration your face structure,
Mm-hmm.
the type of hair you have. Is it coarse, curly, thin? What kind of haircut do you have? Do you have long hair, medium length, a bob? What kind of hairstyle do you have? Because I kind of feel like maybe the style and the going gray kind of make you want to go into a different style if you're going to go full gray. So I think there's a lot of things that go into play with deciding to totally go gray. And I was looking at some of the celebrities, Glenn Close, Helen Mirren, stunningly gorgeous with gray hair. Jamie Lee Curtis, stunningly beautiful with gray hair. But I was also looking at their haircuts, and I thought their haircuts fit going gray. They looked just phenomenal. I mean,
regal
beautiful
and polished.
Beautiful.
And all of the above.
Yes.
Now, regardless of what you want to do, and we did have one gentleman chime in on this, and I loved what he said. He said it doesn't matter if you are comfortable in your own skin.
Yes.
And I have always thought that a woman is her most beautiful when she's most confident.
Right.
So, whether you go gray or you don't go gray, I don't have an opinion on that necessarily. But for me personally, the day I do it, I might have to go get it all dyed at once because I just can't see me walking around with a half and half look like that whole.
Well, that's what I mean.
Ombre look.
Yeah,
as they
that's
say.
what I mean. I think that's the hardest thing for women is letting it grow in. Sometimes you need to blend it out and have some help at a hair salon until it kind of can grow in all the way gray. So I think it's an interesting topic that is being discussed a lot right now because of the society we live in where it's such a youthful culture. And now women over 50 are saying, you know what? I'm not 25. I'm not 35. I don't have all day to spend in the salon coloring my hair. And I have better things to do with my life. And I just don't want to sit in a salon every couple weeks coloring my hair. I mean, I'm not saying that yet. I'm still, a slave to my hair. But like I said, everybody should have their own opinion on this topic. Everybody. I think some people are all for just an easy road to life where you don't have to have a lot of maintenance, which must be amazing. And other people are like, I feel better when I look in the mirror and I don't have gray hair. And I think that's okay too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now let's talk about some of the hacks if you do have the gray new growth. Now, the one we've had Marcy DeSanto, who is a hairstylist, on the program one time, and we talked about the lingo, and she used to always discourage the word roots and want to say new growth because it just sounds more aesthetically pleasing to say my new growth instead of my roots are gray. But for covering up that new growth, I have a surefire way. I wear a baseball hat a lot.
I love that.
That's my thing. It's easier for me. I'm unhappy with my hair most days, so that's my thing. But if you do have somewhere to be and you haven't had an opportunity to have the new growth looked at, there are products out there. I use one that's cheap. It's by L'Oreal, and I just spray it right down the middle of my head. But then I have to remember I can't change my part unless I want to get under there and spray everywhere. And it just covers the gray. It's like spray paint.
Yeah, I have used so many different ones, and let me tell you why. Either they all transfer onto my pillowcase, which drives me crazy. So I try to find one that doesn't transfer. Number two, when you're spraying it, it doesn't get all over your countertops because, you're spraying like dark brown usually for me. And so that's not a pretty look, and it's hard to get off, trust me, and off your floors. So that nixed a whole bunch too. So when I did find one that worked really, really well for me, I do it usually when my hair is wet too, because when your hair is wet, it stays on longer once you blow dry it, or once it air dries. If you try to always do it when it's dry, I usually just do the front, like the crown part and the front. But if my hair is wet, I comb it, I spray where I see a lot of the gray, and then let it dry or blow dry it, and it lasts so much longer. I've used powders as well. Some I love, some not so much. So I think it's just finding the right product. The color match is so important, or else you look like, oh, look, I took something and put it on my hair. So
I used eyeshadow in a pinch. And that's not ideal because I have so much gray. But I think that the idea of the takeaway of your hair being wet is something that I will try immediately because I am going through that stuff like crazy. I wonder if I did that, it would stay better because I'm having to reapply it every single day.
Oh, no. And also, you want to find something that, you have a different situation because I don't wash my hair but once a week. So, mine lasts a long time. Mm-hmm. If you're washing your hair every day or every other day, you are going to have to reapply it. But if you only wash your hair, every 5 to 7 days, it does last a lot longer if you apply it when it's wet.
So the jury is completely out on whether or not you should or shouldn't use your natural color because it is your decision.
Yes.
And we support that. Not that you asked us, but we support that. Well, this is the time of our episode where we ask you to do some things for us, and we hope that you feel like you want to do these things, like leave us 5 stars if there's a review available wherever you're listening to us, or share on your social media that you have found this podcast, or better yet, join us on our Uncluttered and Unfiltered Ladies Only Facebook group. It's a private group, but it is in no way elite. Everybody is welcome to join. You just have to fit some of the descriptions, and if you don't, then you have to ask for approval.
Okay, everybody.
So it's easy enough, right?
So easy.
So overthinking things, these are the kinds of things that we suggest that you can let go because you don't have to sit there and brood about it. You can put it off and maybe go gray next year or the year after that. I mean, your gray hair is always going to be there. Unlike a study that said it can reverse itself, I don't believe that's really the norm. I think that's probably pretty rare. So instead of beating yourself up, you want a pill.
I want a pill. I always tell my hairdresser, if they invented a pill that could reverse your gray, it would be a dream come true.
So whether it's the fact that you no longer want to have your hair done or you want to just have it done and have everybody just leave you alone about that decision, remember, you can let it go.
And don't look back.